Suppose like Kalidas is, what is the answer? Da. Usage of da. Why it is used? Because generally this is what? Shakespeare is a proper noun. We have to know noun. We have how many types of noun? 5 types of noun. Proper noun. Proper noun means name of particular person, place, thing. See? And before proper noun, actually rule of article or grammar, article or determiner is that we cannot use article or a and the before proper noun. We cannot use. For example, here we cannot say a Kalidas or an Kalidas or da Kalidas. Article are never used before proper noun. But here, before Shakespeare, we are using proper noun. Why? Because this is not used as proper noun, this is used as common noun. Why we are using this as common noun? Because we are talking about not the pronoun, not the proper, the pronoun proper. We are not talking about the proper noun of Shakespeare. We are just using it as common noun. Why we are using? To indicate or to donate and denotes its quality. Quality of noun. Why? Because we know that Shakespeare is a great writer. Shakespeare is who? It is a, he was a great writer. Great writer, or we can say poet. It is a poet. William Shakespeare है अर्जुन लोगों. It is a great poet, American poet. Great American poet, or we can say writer. But we are not talking about America. We are talking about India. So we are inferring the quality of Shakespeare. Kalidas is like Shakespeare is the great writer of America. To talk about that sentence, we are taking the help of Shakespeare. It means Kalidas is the great writer of India. Here, Shakespeare, meaning of Shakespeare is great writer or great poet or something like that. Quality. So we are saying Kalidas is the Shakespeare. To denote the quality, we use the before a proper noun because we are using not as proper noun but using as common noun. Another example, if I give you, for example, like any name of any person, for example, like if I give you local name below that, for example, Mamela. For example, my name. Rubin is the Sachin of, for example, Assam. For example, Rubin is the Sachin of Assam. It means what? Who is Sachin? Not I. Great Indian cricketer. We are talking about the quality of cricketer. Great cricketer. That means here we know that Sachin is the great cricketer of India, but we are talking about Assam. Similar to Sachin, Rubin is cricketer of Assam, great cricketer of Assam. In this way, we are just taking the quality of Sachin, not the actual Sachin. In this way, we are using the before a proper noun. We can use. That's why answer is the. Là số này trong bao nhiêu trẻ? Hả? Cho là? Chọc năng cộng. But now you got knowledge also. Next, 2019. 19. Half into 2. Half into 4 equals to. Number 1. My brother had gone dash hour ago. Here we have already discussed yesterday. Here H is silent. If H is silent, actual word will become hour. That means it will have what sound? Vowel sound. If vowel sound, we have to put N. That's why answer is an hour. Simple number. Similar example, if I give you N H E I R, an air. Do you know the meaning of this? Son or daughter. An air. So similarly, an honest boy or anything. An honest. Next, time will. A busy man has less time to waste. This is very important. We have to know the concept of little, a little, the little. And another words we have few, a few, the few. Here, few, a few, the few will not come. What will come? Little, a little, the little, any one of these. Here we will come. We have to use little, not few. Few is incorrect. Why? Because time is uncountable now. We can count time. We are not talking about how we can count time, but time, the word time itself is uncountable. This is uncountable. So before uncountable, we have to use little. But when we talk of little, we have three options. One is little, another is a little, and another one is the little. The little. Can you see the meaning difference between these three? What are the basic difference? Little means none, means no, zero, equivalent to negative. This is negative. Little, the word little is negative. This is useful when you learn question tag also. Little is a negative word. Whereas a little means some. Give me a little time. We have to say. If I say give me little time, then I will not give time, because you are asking give me little time. Little time means give me no time. Give me little time means it's equivalent to give me no time. If you are saying give me little time, then I will not give you time. You know? So you have to ask give me a little time so that I can finish the work. In this way you have to say. And the little means all, though not so much. We have to say all, not though not so much, because much by is not so many, because uncountable. That's why. What is the answer here? Little. Why a little is not correct? Time is uncountable, but little, we have two options. The little will not come here. What will come? Little or a little. But correct one is little. Why we cannot use a little? Because a busy man. If I say a busy man has a little time to waste, that means a busy man has some time to waste. So a busy man will waste his time or not? Will not waste. How will waste? Because he is so busy that he will not waste time. That means a busy man will not waste time. Will not. No. We are talking about no or not. A busy man does not have time to waste. So if I say a little time, that means he will have some time. But a busy man will not have time. So you have to use little. A little will not come, little will come. It means what? It means a busy man has no time to waste. Little means no time. A busy man. If I say an idle person, an idle man, opposite of busy is idle. And before idle we have to use an, not a. This is according to pronunciation. An idle man has little time. Now we cannot say little, we can say much time. Much time, because so many time. We cannot say a little. A little actually a little word use mila hai, but not a little childo, because idle come he don't have time. Meaning he doesn't have word, so he will have lots of time. Lots of time we can say an idle man has much time to waste, means many time. But we cannot say many before time. We have to use much. Itu yang tangan lo supaya use difference between much and many. Next, the classes started after dash bell rang. Boleh lo bola? Da. Why what da? Why we cannot use a? Because generally a or n or da. Because article we have to put here, because we are talking about bell. Before bell we cannot put a much bell, a few bell, any bell. Faham ma? Not come. Option is three of these. Option yang piat bosan deh. Our option will be either a or n or da. N will not come because B is consonant sound. Bell. Either A or da. But when we put A, what will become? A bell means any bell. A means any. But we are not talking about any bell. We are not talking about any bell. Any bell means we are talking about classes. Classes means we are talking about school bell. Not temple bell and another bell. So, not a cycle bell also. That's why we have to put the bell. The bell means we are especially talking about school bell, not any other bell. Di, spontaneous mati because A and N are indefinite article, whereas da is definite. Definite means exact, particular. We are talking about the particular school bell. That's why da is appropriate here. Di, tolong ma. Next, what was the answer here? Much of their property. Why we are using much? Difference between much and many. Hey, many we cannot use because property. Property is uncountable word, uncountable noun. So we have to use much. Much means we are talking about plenty of, lots of. Hey, other synonym words of much are plenty, lots of, a large quantity of. We are talking about quantity. But in substitute a large in place of many we can use a great number of, a large number of. We are talking about number. Many will use to denote number, whereas much is used to denote quantity. So for quantity we cannot count the number, so we have to use lots of, plenty of, a huge of. These are the similar words. But here much will come because property is uncountable noun. So much of the property was lost in the flood means what? Lots of property were lost in the flood. This is 1919 over. Cho mà? Over. Thì đang lang ở đây đang tham review một đang này por hilong por sabon ni type po. You will get a booklet PDF बनाए. नहीं PDF वाला print out then. Now 18 come to 2018. Here also similar pattern. नहीं half into 4 equals 2. Write determiners. Here this is also important concept. There's an important concept behind it. Concept duma है. What is the appropriate word here? Appropriate determiner? Da. Why we are using the uses of da? Here we are talking about uses of da. Why we are using da here? Uses of da. Why we are using da here? Can you say? Because? Huh? What? We have to say then why we are using here means reason behind this. The rich. Why we are using the rich? Not why we are not using a rich. The rich we are using because we are talking about the rich people, general character of rich. The general character we are talking about generally. The rich people, R-I-C-H, the rich people or rich person, P-E-A, people, P-E-O, what is the spelling of people? P-E-A, the rich people. We are talking generally about the rich people. The rich people are not always unkind. We are talking about the general character of or the general nature of rich person. That's why the rich means the rich people. Similar example if I give, I have another example here. Whenever the poor, we have this word, this line, the poor are generally what? More. We are comparing. More generous. Generous. Generous than the rich. See, rich. Rich are what? Adjective. Poor, rich. These are adjective. But we are not using as adjective. We are using this adjective as noun. These are also using as noun. The rich means we are talking about the rich people. People means noun. Rich is not, poor is not noun. It is an adjective. But here we are using adjective as noun. And when we use adjective as noun, we have to use the before it. This is the reason behind it. Chalo ma. The poor are generally more generous than the rich. Means the rich people. Next. Number B. This one. The principal gave the students their sound advice. Huh? Much. That's one explain familiar. Explain what you Much. Much. What is the meaning of sound? Sound means we are talking about good advice. Advice is always in singular form. We cannot use it as plural form. Advice. We cannot say advices. So we have to say much sound advice. Advice. It is a noun. Noun. We have this is noun form. Then we have adverb form also, which is advise. A difference orang bola tak. Because we have similar words differentiation. Ni, doma have syllabus on. We will have this. One is advice, vice, another one is advise. This is word form, this is noun. This is noun, this is verb. For example, advise the, take advice from the doctor. Then we are talking about noun, so this advice will come. Advise your son. Then we are talking about noun. You have to advise, action. We are talking about action. So we have to use this. The difference is there. And here, much is used because it is uncountable. Much cannot, advice cannot be counted. The, so it is, much will come here. That's only. Next, every school has this simple a and the. Which one will come? Option we have a and the. Which one is the correct one? The or a or n. A. Why a? And why we don't use n? Because u is conjunct vowel or consonant? Consonant. But here it is sounding as consonant, like u. Okay. It is a consonant sound. If consonant sound, we have to put e. That's why a union, a university, a unit, a uniform. These are simple. Next.
Sir,
Hmm.
the university.
Difference is there. I will go to you. Right. Because till now we have not reached there. Number D. Yeah. Is there desk coffee left in the pot? Now there is, I have explained lots of things this day regarding this question. Regarding this question means we have two words. One is any and some. Lots of difference is there. Why? What is the difference? Basic difference are both are used. Not difference. First we are talking about similarity. This means these are almost equivalent, means equal. We can use any of them. Any of them means because this will always be used before what? Countable and uncountable. They can use both uncountable and countable also. Correct. Fit. Meaning also almost same. But what is the difference is that this we have to talk about the types of sentence, means sentence structure. TIP, type of sentence. Generally, this is the general word we have to say. Because exception is also there. Exception to exception to this rule are there. But generally what we are doing here is, generally this some is always used in case of affirmative sentence. Affirmative means not negative. For example, the sun rises in the east. Do your homework. These are affirmative, positive sentence. But opposite of this is negative sentence. When negative word we are using, we have to put in, not some. For example, I have a word here like, where is the word? Some men are happy. So we are using some because it is, we are talking about affirmative, means positive statement. इनके negative statement बोलने को सुन लो. Negative statement. I did not I did not have. If I say have any, because not is there, negative. No, not it is there, then it will become a negative sentence. If negative sentence, I did not have any what? Pen. I did not have any pen. So it is negative sentence, we have to put any. I did not have some pen. Will be wrong. Okay. And another use of any is there. This is number one. Number two is what? In case of interrogative sentence. In case of question. When you ask question, we have to use any. Okay. Interrogative. Interrogative sentence. For example, is there any water in the jar? Is there any water? Because we are asking question, is there any water in the jar? In such type of question, we have to use in. Any, in. This is the basic difference between any and some. This is the general difference. But there is some exception to this rule. Exception is that they can sometimes here also any can some can come, here also any can come. This difference can be explained in this way. For example, when you ask question, generally in question, when you ask question, what you have to use? Any we have to use. Look here carefully. Generally, when you ask question means interrogative sentence. In case of interrogative sentence, any will come. But there is exception to this rule. Exception is that sometimes instead of any, we can use some also. For example, will you give me some tea or some money? Will you give me some money? Will you give me any money? We will not say. Will you give me some money? We are asking. We need some money. Will you give me any money? We will not say. So exception to this rule. This is known as exceptional case. Exception. This is the exception. Then what we have? This one. Generally in case of negative sentence or generally in case of affirmative affirmative. Generally in case of negative sentence or first we will look for affirmative sentence, then we have to use some. But exception is there. What is the exception? Exception is that we can use some or any also. For example, anyone. Anyone can do this sum. For example, the sum is very easy, then anyone can do. Not only some, all can do. That means anyone means any student can do this sum. Except. That means according to sentence, we have to look also. Exception is there. Then one is there, negative sentence. In case of negative sentence, what we have to use? Generally. We are talking, that's why generally word I'm using here. Generally, in case of negative sentence, any will come. But we have to use some also sometimes. How? For example, some men, or we not men, we don't say. Some boys do not like what? Like to play PUBG. You can say or cannot say? PUB có đọc đây G ở answer bro. Some boys do not like to play PUBG. That's why we cannot say we don't need to say here any boys. Any boys will be wrong. Any boys do not like to play PUBG. Some will like, some will not like. So, but generally, whenever not is there, we have to put any. But this is exceptional case. Tahu mah? Jangan ilah. Tolong mah bilang. Jangan itu lu. Lan helu. Ni, baru lah exceptional. Hai mah mau hempure na ya. Ke 17 dolang, 16 dolang, 15 dolang. Đây, bên nào làm đây? Bên nào cho luôn mà? Hả? Lại này hem chân lại mà chỉ làm thế mày nè. Question paper do bo. Hả? Bên nào bên này tăng pula pula anda hapu bên tăng thế là. Actually patang dan ni bulan target tăng này thế bulan đi because of time. Half hour time có một vấn đề đó đấy đấy. Time đó rồi. Hả? 33 mà. The accounting mistake that one day. Percentage हिसाब थे लो मत. हिसाब थे. Percentage हिसाब पाने जाए. Here, 16 divided by 22 into 100. You can cancel this by what? 8, 11. 8, 11. Now, what we can do, either you can directly multiply or we can directly divide. If you want to multiply, then you have to multiply 8 into 100. That means 800. 811 when divide nang kopo. You can do in this way also, or otherwise you can directly divided by 11. Then, because you have to divide 8 by 11. Then after this, the result can be multiplied by 100. 11. Pan ke joy point when it's 0. How many times? 7 times. When it's 77. What is remaining? 3. 11 when pan divide joy. 0 will come free. Then 2. When it's 22. Then 8. Then 0 will come free. Again 7. And that means 727272. So our answer will be 0.7272. 7272 into 100. When you multiply by 100, this point will go in front or behind. If multiply, then behind. If divide, then in front. So if divide, how many zeros? 2 zeros. That means 1 time, 2 times. So answer will be 72.72. 72.72%. In this way. Similarly here also you will get in this way also answer. In this way you have to multiply. Means find out the percentage. Total marks, not total marks will be down. Marks obtained divided by total marks into 100. Metric ko ni tum apna calculate thek ko ni da kosong aklang me. For example, if I score 490 kon myo ni lo 91 ni kon myo divided by 6. Direct multiply because I have 6 subjects. Generally 7 subjects but 2 subjects are 50-50. So we will count it as 6 subjects. Direct divide people. But this can be answer is correct, but we can use alternate also. 91 divided by total mark is how much? Total mark is 600 into 100%. Similarly, your 0 cancel. Answer equal to 491 divided by 6. Same. Because like 100 when 0 cancel. Formula is same. High secondary 5 subject is there. So if I score higher secondary for example, if I score total 500 500 divided by for example if I score for example like 431 or into 100 and 0 cancel meaning is same problem because of that need to 5 subjects and consider as 5 and divide but when we don't know total we don't know number of subjects we have to use in this way mark obtained divided by total mark into 100 math long lado use đây cháu bố con này là hai bộ bộ đấy thế cũng mà 32 mươi long đi 32 tầm mình you have to where is 33 no this side also now we look làm bộ cái you have to write all this word where reading also bộ hết bộ cái là hắn arjun bộ mà hắn for do the tí son này various bộ hết nào point once này various spelling na bahana bode mohem hai various components when our class unit test lo thangsan bi ha spelling dictation no do given chart area area object category axis horizontal axis horizontal value what is this vertical values দুইটা তো কব একটা by value একটা by values দেই spelling is there different data what is this SEI বলে হয় তখন SERIES series বলে series this would be I দেই I bars SLICES slice other what is this ELEMENTS elements what is this REPR represent labels displayed plot within 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 contains what is this actual legend DEPICTS depicts colors patterns symbols sign ASSIGNED sign right what you have to do you write each word five times then you will get automatically by heart the spelling and tomorrow spelling dictation hey पर lesson ले बनाए यार बने ना आवड़ो people reading yang tanya apa tu mana cek kai tu